Good morning. So my presentation is about integrating innovation, quality, and standardization in the CBT in the Philippines, but focusing on the case in my own province in Bohol, which is located in the central part of the Philippines. So this is my outline. Very briefly, I will talk about the background and trends of CBT. Actually, it's not really the CBT, but the tourism industry in the Philippines and particularly in Bohol. Anyway, yes, this is the background of my presentation or the outline of my presentation. I'll talk about very briefly about the trends on tourism and ecotourism in the country, in the Philippines, but focus on my own province in Bohol, which is located in the central part of the Philippines. And then also talk about very briefly about the overview of the supporting policy and institutional organizations. What have we done in terms of policy supporting ecotourism in the country? And based on that, I will present the 3 CBT initiatives in the province, community-based. And my presentation, since this is about policy, I delve on what are the process in coming up with our own Abatan River Code, what are the results and challenges and conclusions. Now, for the tourism trends in the country, in the Philippines, for the first quarter, we have based on the data from the Department of Tourism, for the first quarter of this year, we reached a visitor arrivals of 1.27 million. And compared to 2012, there is an increase of 10.8%. And for the Asian market, there is a growth of 14.8% by regional grouping. And in Asian market, it increases by 14%. Now, for the top 10 visiting market or the tourist, Korea ranks number 1 in terms of tourists coming to the Philippines. And this is also true to our country, particularly in Abatan River. Koreans are our number 1 market. Now, talking about ecotourism in the Philippines, there are lots of ecotourism sites as identified in our national ecotourism strategy. And one of which is in Bohol. Bohol is here in the central part. So talking about the province of Bohol, it is only the 10th largest province in the country with tourism and industry as one of our economic growth. Second, the other 2 is agriculture and information technology. And Bohol has been awarded as Destination of the Year in 2003 and as Ecological Destination, and in 2004 as Ecotourism Development Program. So this is the map of Bohol, and it is divided into clusters based on theme. And Abatan River belongs to cluster 2, which is eco-cultural tourism cluster. Some of my the 3 initiatives is somewhere in Buena Vista. So it is about ecotourism or in environment. So the Bohol Tourism Master Plan establishes the tourism commonalities among Bohol municipalities and seeks to develop their potential tourism sites by means of clustering strategies. So, talking about policies, there was a national ecotourism strategy that was drafted as an offshoot of the Executive Order number 111 issued by then former President Estrada, and Executive Order number 2002 defines the regulations about agritourism. And there is also rules and regulations that governs the accreditation of eco-guides, eco-tours, eco-lodges, and eco-tour facilities pursuant to the provisions of Republic Act number 7160 and Executive Order number 11. Now, particular in Bohol, based on the National Ecotourism Strategy, we also drafted our own Biodiversity Conservation and Ecotourism Framework Plan. And then, out of that, we also drafted the provincial ordinance, known as the Bohol Tourism Code. So, from the national, we have come down to Bohol, and then for a particular cluster, we drafted the Abatan River Code, particularly along the covering 5 municipalities. We call it the Mekong in the Philippines because it also covers 5 municipalities. So, what are the examples of the CBT initiatives in the province of Bohol? Actually, there are some, but I will only give you 3 prominent one. One is the initiative of the San Vicente Mangrove Association. We call their CBT Mangrove Adventure Tour. But it didn't happen just right at the click of your finger. But we started organizing the San Vicente Mangrove Association for protecting the environment, the mangrove areas, which the DNR awarded to them, 56 hectares, to be managed by them for 25 years and renewable for another 25 years. Now, having seen the impact of their effort, then we scaled them up into a community-based tourism. Now, the community entertains the tourists through mangrove planting, catering food, and other community livelihood demonstrations like shell gathering, shrimp, and all related to their livelihood in the community. Now, another one is the Kambuhat Enterprise Development and Fishermen's Associations. They are also into river tour, but in a very short distance only. And they are also serving what they grew in the river, like the oyster and other seafood. So this is the one that they serve to the tourists. And again, there is a community activities that is being involved. Okay, I have 10 minutes more. So this is the Abatan River Community Life Tour, So this is the river and this is the main boat that we are using. And there are 5 communities involved. And each of the communities, we capacitate them. We train them in partnership with the National Commission on Culture and the Arts, with Gardi Labad. We train them as cultural collectives. And then we have a livelihood demonstration. And the end of the tour is the Kawasan Falls. Now, just recently, we integrate agriculture in our Abatan River Tour. So each of the 5 municipalities have a focused theme in relation to agri-tourism. So what are some features of the Abatan River Code? We call it, it serves as the Bible, or a guide in the implementation of our community-based tourism along Abatan River. And also, it ensures that all reasonable and sustainable measures are taken by the LGUs as well as the communities to protect, restore, and enhance the quality of the environment. So the code sets out how to organize sustainable resource management via the Abatan River Development Management Council. What are the regulations people and tourism enterprises should comply with? What are the needed infrastructures? And also, the code wanted to regulate the facilities that are operating, especially floating facilities, in terms of quality and comfort, health and safety, sustainable building materials, skills and certification of staff. So in the regulation, we do riverbank protection, particularly in the aspect of environment management, watershed, water resources, ecological waste, air quality, and managements. And also, we put in, although very, very minimal, but just to let the violators that there is a penalty in violating the code. Now, Abatan River Development Management Council is the management body that oversees the overall operation of the Abatan River Code and the Abatan River Community Life Tour. It sets the policies for the management and utilization of the resources, and it created the Project Management Office as its implementing arm. The PMO is our organization. Why they designated NGO? Because elected officials are termed. So to ensure, because we are really working closely with the government, but we wanted to continue the program even if their end of their term already ends, no? So this is the structure of the ARDMC. Here's the council, the PMO. These are the municipal tourism action centers, and down the line are the communities, no? For purposes of monitoring and regulations. Now, what have we done? So we regulated the operations of the kayak, the stand-up paddling, and of course, the motorized boats. We call it bandong. Also, for the environmental management, our NGO was able to seek funding assistance from UNDP. So we trained River Watch, and the council, this one is the mayor, helps in the monitoring of the river, and we plant trees and bamboos along the riverbank for riverbank stabilization. And for the establishment of ecotourism village centers, this serves as our performing arts theater. So last February, I was there. So there was the Likha Asya, and one of our performers is Asai. And community-based collectives are also performing. And also, in this area, this is the main village center where we also cater just to earn income, because the operation depends on the income of the tour. So we also accept booking for weddings, conferences in the open air village center. So what are the results, no? So again, I agree with the term yesterday that this morning in one of our speaker, that it's not only owned by the communities, but it really is empowering communities, no? Empowering means they know how to approach, interact with tourists, and approach or lobby the local government if ever they need something for policy support. And of course, it creates jobs and services, because all the service providers in the Abatan River Community Life Tours and in the two other initiatives that I presented are communities. Our role as PMO is just facilitator. And also, of course, it stimulates economy, no? Because our communities there starts to think about what communities enterprises could they make, and we're supporting on it. And most importantly, it protects the environment. However, there are also challenges, and the most important or number one challenge is the sustainability. Because now it's process who's facilitating the activities. But we're talking last night, what are the exit strategy? For Savima, we're not there for so long already, and they're still existing. And from a direct facilitator, our partnership now with the community is on a consultancy level. No? So, before, our services are free, but now we could ask, especially in their bookkeeping, in their financial aspect of their accounting, no, or their income. So sometimes if they could afford, we ask them, could you now afford to pay us? If they said yes, why not? But if they're not yet, so we could always give them for free. What is important is they really sustain the effort that we started together. So, in conclusions, CBT really helps address the poverty problem in the community by fully maximize, and when it is fully maximized, observing the principles strictly for its own sustainability. However, it is very important that among us, especially ASEAN, should set up policies and guidelines in the context of sustainable development strategy. How to really sustain our initiatives, and such policies and guidelines should be and must be cascaded and adapted down at the community level. Because drafting a policy, if it's only at the higher level without informing the communities or without community participation, it's nothing. So it is to ensure sustainability and, of course, the sense of ownership and community empowerment. So that's it. Thank you very much.